What is your mental disability?
My mental disability is called Williams syndrome. It's a rare disability that happens 1 in every 10,000 people, and we do not have chromosome number 7. The different effects that we have are heart problems, lack of coordination skills, and a few other things. And there are different levels of this disability which most people do not realise. There are the more effective, which consider to have carers as well as their parents do protect them more often, don't let them go out much. And then there's people like yours truly whose parents don't really care if they go out or what, because we are the less affected, but still we have it. So
Good man, Benny. Good man.
Yep.
What's life been like living with a mental disability?
With this disability, it's quite it's been up and down for me, especially around people, because you can never know who to trust and not trust, because you never know if they're gonna bring you down or do other stuff to you. There's always, when it comes to people with disabilities like mine, it's hard for us to actually know what's funny and what's not.
Yeah.
But when it comes to me, I know the things because I've actually been around people who don't have disabilities all my life, and have actually like kind of understood it all. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Where do you live?
I live in Botany.
Botany? Good
Yep.
stuff. Were you or your family born anywhere other than Australia?
No.
No? Okay. What high school did you go to, and how did you like it?
Waverley College, and one of the best damn schools ever. Period.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Can you tell me about the years when you were aged 12, between 12 and 18? Maybe start with when you were 12 and just tell me things that are important to you both inside and outside of school.
Oh man, where can I start? When I was 12, I didn't know what was going to happen to me when I got into high school. I thought it was going to be actually like freaking primary school. There would be freaking bullies and all that crap, and then wouldn't get much of an education, wouldn't have anyone back you up or anything. But then when I went to Waverley, all that changed. I was like, had my dad, had my brother, had a few mates there who I knew before I went there, so it was good.
Yeah.
I got well looked after, and people looked after me quite well, so I was happy.
Did you enjoy the years between 12 and 18?
I did sometimes, and I didn't.
What did you enjoy and what didn't you enjoy?
I enjoyed how our high school was so sporty, and that we got to actually watch really good like rugby games and soccer games and all that. And then the crappy stuff was all the kind of like Christian crap that we had to go through, like May Day and all that, and it was alright at first, and then it started getting boring each year, so it wasn't that pleasant.
Did you find anything particularly hard at school, or?
Sport was sometimes hard, as well as maths, because with my disability, we're not really that functional, but I did kind of handle it quite well when it came to it. It was alright. It was alright. Then I just got to the point where I was like, you know what, this is understandable, but I give up.
Are there any particular memories or moments that stood out for you?
Oh man, scoring my first goal ever in soccer when I was in year 7, that was the main thing. The teacher put me in the right spot as striker of the team.
Yep.
And sometimes I was captain, and sometimes I was vice, and that was a day that I'll never ever forget.
Good stuff. How would you describe yourself during those years? Like, if you're meeting for someone for the first time, and you were talking about how you were then, how would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as a bit different as I am now. Like I was sometimes really confident around people, and then suddenly I didn't trust them, and trust them again. But it happens. But as the years progressed, like I got more confident. I knew a lot more people. I felt safe, felt happy, had a happy life. So it was good.
Yeah. So, how did being a young disabled person influence you these years?
It's influenced me because I help others with disabilities.
Yeah.
Because I actually do quite a bit of stuff with them these days now.
Yeah.
I'm in the Special Olympics basketball team, Special Olympics swimming team. I do dance ability, which has been on the news a few times about people with disabilities doing dances and all that. And I help a local support group help kids with disabilities learn how to swim and surf and keep safe in the ocean. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. Did much change for you when you turned into an adult?
Yeah, a lot changed. My whole entire confidence level just boosted quite a bit. Trusting a few people came on and off a few times. I never gave up on sports. I always loved it.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing for me. I met a lot of new people, got a lot of new experiences, got my first job, which was good and bad sometimes, but job's a job, so it was good. Got out into the real world and just started doing what normal people do, and that's just have a job and try and have a life when you can. So yeah.
Good stuff. What about your relationships these years? Did you have any friends with similar disabilities to you?
None really. It's kind of rare to see a person with my kind of disability because there's not many around at all.
Yeah.
You barely get to see them because they're probably either heaps of them in America, then you only get a few around in Australia.
Yeah.
But it's rare to actually see one of us around. So yeah.
Who are the three most important people in your life, and how have they shaped you into the person you are today?
One is definitely my dad because he's always been there for me since day one.
Yeah.
My mum, of course, who's always been supportive and always treated me well and looked after me. And then there's my older brother who I've had a few conflicts with when we were younger, but we started to really get bonding back again, starting to hang out more, and yeah, it's it's a good lifestyle that I've got at the moment, so yeah.
Okay. So what do you like to do for fun?
Make music, obviously.
Yep.
One of my main things I love about music is the rhythms and everything, and then I've got sports. I love sports. Play a lot of different instruments now and then. Just try and learn new things and learn how it goes and everything. And then, and there's also hanging out with friends, obviously, going to the beach, movies, whatnot. And yeah, it's good fun.
Okay, so you mentioned that you're really into music.
Yeah.
So how important is music to you?
Music is extremely important to me. I started music when I was 5 years of age. Started on drumming, and then as the years progressed, I started making lyrics, and then started making beats and started rapping. So
so a bit of a rapper. How's that?
It's quite fun actually. Yeah, you get a lot of people who actually know who you are and just spit a song and I do it for them, or I just make beats and just put them on Facebook or SoundCloud or do whatever I can just to try and get myself out in the world. So
yeah, good stuff. How has being a young person living with a disability, how has it influenced your day-to-day activities?
It's influenced me more and more because when I was young I didn't really kind of hang out with people with disabilities, but then once I started knowing people with different disabilities and how they are, then I started changing my mind about actually hanging around them and seeing what they're like. Because I was kind of afraid that people would just look at them and then look at me and just say bad things and they wouldn't be able to react. So I thought, why not? So I can just look after them.
Yeah, that's a good mindset to have, Benny. So you mentioned you worked at school. What were you doing? And
I was doing warehousing. I was a warehouse assistant for 6 months at a place called Budget Distributors, and had to do packaging for bandages and lollies and all this other stuff. And then
hard work.
Yeah, it was a bit of hard work some days, and then I worked for a company called AGS who support the Roosters. The CEO was a family friend of mine until he died, so his partner took over, and yeah, and it was really, some days were good, some days were bad, because I actually got to get out of the warehouse and do quite a lot of interesting things. Got to go out with the trucking guys and help them out, and then come back and do a few more stuff there, and then got to go home.
So what did you spend your money on when you got a chance?
I actually saved quite a bit from it.
Oh, good stuff.
I saved up all of it, so I wouldn't be a foolish person and spend it all in one go, because if you do, then you end up being broke for the next couple of months until you get more. So yeah, I didn't want to end up taking that road, so I saved up and spent a little bit when I could. So yeah.
So looking back in hindsight, from when you were a kid, how did you imagine the future?
I didn't imagine it as good as this at the moment, because I thought that I would have to have a carer. I would have to be, my parents would be extremely strict on me about where I go, who I'm with, blah blah blah, and wouldn't be able to take transport without them knowing. Of course, that did happen a little bit, but then they started to trust me, and it's been really interesting. So.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
That I'm not too sure, because it hasn't happened yet, so if it does happen, probably, I don't know, teaching kids how to make music, or making a home-based business which I can actually teach them about the surf, teach them how to surf, boogie board, teach them how to be safe in the water and do all that, so
That's a good profession. It's a good profession. So last two questions. If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
3 wishes, oh man, be a bit taller for one. Probably have whole entire garage to myself, so I can just make music in peace without getting disturbed by unwanted guests and family. And the third wish would probably finally have my driver's license and have a nice car, so I can be happy and just go out and just have fun.
And last one, if you could have dinner with one celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be?
I would have to definitely say Michael Jackson, because he is a legend,
the king
in the music industry. Without him, not many people will be around these days, so definitely him. And prop up to you, my friend. Hope you're living well up there.
Alright, that's a wrap, Benny. Thanks so much.
No worries, man.